Hello yogis, my name is April and welcome to the Yoga Ranger Studio and welcome to our practice today. Today we're going to be focusing on strengthening and stretching the hamstrings, which would be those area at the very back, right below the bum and right in top of the kneecap on the back side, this whole space, a little bit onto the outside, some to the insides. We're going to be working with a lot of poses that just help bring more strength and stability to this area, as well as opening them up for those of us who have very tight hamstrings. So we're going to start, all you're going to need for this practice is a strap. If you don't have a strap, a robe belt or a belt will work just as well. We'll use that toward the end of our practice, so we can put that off to the side, and we're going to start in downward facing dog. So go ahead and come on to hands and knees, turn the fingers, spread them nice and wide, engage your upper arm so that the inner elbows face forward, flip your toes and lift your hips, come back into downward facing dog. So your middle finger can point forward, your first finger can point forward, find what works for your shoulders. Take your feet super wide to begin, and maybe start to walk your dog out, one leg and then the other, bending the knees, finding a little movement here. Maybe coming up on the toes and then back toward the heels. And then walking the feet about hip distance apart. Here again, walking your dog, taking that heel down to the floor. For some of us, our heels don't get quite to the floor, and that's okay too. There's a lot of things on the back side of the body that can be tight and tense. Here again, coming up on the toes, rocking back into the heels, and then walking the feet forward without shifting the hands at all. So maybe the heels come down here. Maybe you can feel a lot of stretch in the back of the hamstrings. And then bending your knees, walking your feet up toward the top of the mat. Come up halfway, hands to shins, lift and lengthen. Bend your knees, exhale, fold. We're going to do 3 more of those. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Maybe this time you keep your fingertips on the floor, lift up on the fingertips, straighten out the back of the legs just a little bit more. Exhale, fold. And just one more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep hands all the way up to the top, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart space. 3 little half sun salutations here. So inhale, sweep hands up, little back bend. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, lift, hands to shins or thighs or the floor. Exhale, fold. Inhale, engage through the core, come all the way up to top. Float back down again. Exhale, arms back down to the floor. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. Last one, exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fingertips down, step that right leg back. Drop your right knee and come into your low lunge, knee down. So inhale, look up, lift and lengthen. Exhale, rock back, bring those toes towards your nose. Inhaling, rock forward, low lunge. Exhale, half Hanumanasana, toes towards your nose. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, rock forward. This last one we're going to hold. Exhale, rock back. And just lengthen up through the crown of your head, and then exhale, soften. The more you flex those toes, the more you may feel this up the back of the calf, up the back of the leg, maybe all the way up into the hamstrings, the ankle. On your next inhale, rock forward, lift that back leg, step that right next to left, come up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold, fingertips down, step that left leg back. Same thing here, drop the knee. Inhale, reach up through the crown of the head. Exhale, rock back. Notice which side may have a little bit more tension. It may be harder to straighten the leg. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. And exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Find that place where you can be. Maybe start to straighten that leg out a little bit more. Maybe there's still a little bit of bend to your knee. That's okay too. Remember, the more you flex your toes, the more you're going to feel that on the back of the leg. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale, rock forward. Lift that back leg. Step all the way to the front of the mat. Come up halfway, hands to shins or thighs or the floor. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep hands up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fingertips down. Step that right leg back. Ground the heel and come into triangle pose. So the legs are in triangle pose. We're going to press through the heel, press through the toes, spread the toes wide. Reach out with those left fingertips as far as you can go. Drop that left hand down. Right hand's going to go up. Now here, if this is a lot for your arm, you can always take that arm alongside the hip or behind the lower back. Think about really pressing through the heel of the leg. You're going to feel more engagement when you press to that left heel, the left toes, really grounding down and then engaging that inner thigh of the right leg, pressing down through the toe tips of the right leg. One more deep breath. Inhale, come back up to center. Reach up and back, reverse. And then come back to center. Turn both feet out to the long edge of the mat. Hands to your hips. Walk your feet a little bit wider. Lift up through the heart space and exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands down to the floor. We're going to do a little cat-cow here. So inhale, arch and round. Exhale, lift the belly toward the sky. Inhale, cow tilt. Exhale, cat arch. Inhale, cow tilt. Staying in your cow tilt, you're going to fold a little bit deeper. Maybe your arms get all the way down to the floor. Maybe you're still on fingertips. It doesn't matter as long as you feel that nice stretch. Inner leg, back of the leg, maybe the outside of the hips. Think about keeping your toes spread, engaged fully. Then we're going to walk our fingertips a little bit over to the right. Maybe all the way to that right ankle or right foot. Back to center, this time over to the left side. Coming back to center, taking your hands to your hips, engaging your core, coming all the way up. This time swiveling, turning that right foot out. Reach out with those right fingertips as far as you can. Reach a little bit further, press through the toes, spread the toes, press through the heel. Drop that hand down, left hand alongside the hip or up to the sky. Doesn't matter if you can or cannot reach the floor, that's not the goal here. We really want to feel a lot of engagement on the inner leg, the back of the leg, maybe even a little on the outer side of the leg. And also still engaging that left hip, pressing down through the toes, the heel, the inner and outer foot. And then inhaling back to center, reversing. Coming back to center, turning the feet to the long edge of the mat, interlacing the hands around behind you, Pulling the shoulder blades back, lifting the heart, looking up. Exhale, fold. Taking those arms either might be close to your lower back, they might be over your head, wherever they are, just find that space. Then engaging the core, coming all the way back up through center. Turning to the front of your mat, taking a big step forward. So taking hands to your heart or wherever you want them to be, sometimes it feels good to take them to your hips as well. You're gonna step that right foot back about 2.5 to 3 feet and take a wider stance on the mat. So taking your left and right feet apart toward the outer edges of your mat. Give yourself a little space to line your hips up toward the front. Lift the heart, engage the back heel, the front heel, and both front feet, left and right. And then taking your hands and using your hands to shift that left hip back, right hip forward, just a little bit. So you might feel a little bit more stretch in the back of that left leg. Lift up a little bit, lengthen out. Maybe you can take your fingertips down to the floor. Maybe you fold all the way over that leg. Maybe you're halfway or higher up. Three more deep breaths. The thing with hamstrings is to be incredibly patient with them. They took a long time to get this tight, and it will take a while to unwind that. Inhale, come all the way back up. Go ahead and step to the front of your mat. Shifting sides, so taking that left leg back 2.5 to 3 feet, doesn't have to be exact. Walking the feet a little bit wider on the mat, a little bit more space. Turn the hips toward the front of your mat, lift up, and then exhale, fold. Here this time taking that right hip back just a little bit and left hip forward, because we tend to kind of tilt off, and that takes some of the stretch out of the back of the leg. Lifting up and then folding forward. Reaching for whatever space you can, your foot, the floor, your leg. Just a few more deep breaths here, really pressing into the toes and the heel. It's not how close you get to the floor, it's how much sensation you feel and where you feel it that really matters. Inhale, coming back up, stepping to the front of your mat. Take a couple of breaths here. Notice how everything feels. On an inhale, sweep your hands up. Exhale, fold forward, fingertips down. You're gonna bend your right knee, straighten your left. Shifting back and forth, walking out your forward fold a little bit. Just shifting the hips side to side. Coming back to center, lifting up and lengthening. Exhale, folding. Bend your knees, step back into plank. Slowly lower all the way down to the floor. So keeping the hands alongside the shoulders or alongside the hips, either choice for you. We're gonna lift up the left leg, point through the toes, reach out as far as you can through those toes, lift, lift, lift. And then keeping that here, we're gonna bend it a little bit, straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten. 2 more, bend a little bit, straighten out. Reach out through the toes, drop that foot down. We're gonna switch sides. Notice which side might be a little bit stronger or weaker, reaching out through the toes. Here again, bend the knee, straighten, bend a little bit, straighten. 3 more. And reaching out through the toes as far as you can, dropping it down, gently rolling all the way over onto your back. So we're going to take some little bridge variations here. So go ahead and walk your feet in towards your hips, about hip distance apart, lifting up. Here you can keep your hands alongside your hips, palms facing down. You can interlace your fingers underneath and tuck the shoulder blades under. And on your next breath, you're going to lift that left heel, take that leg straight at a horizontal angle to the floor. Then up toward the ceiling, toes up. Just 3 breaths here. Drop that foot down. This time lift your right heel. Right leg goes alongside the floor, horizontal. And then up toward the ceiling, 3 breaths. Drop that foot down. Press through the feet, lift the hips a little bit higher. Uninterlace those hands and relax all the way down. Take a couple of breaths here. Then go ahead and grab hold of that strap that we had at the very beginning. We're going to bring that right knee into the chest. Take that strap right around the ball of the right foot and take that foot up toward the ceiling. Now here you can keep this left leg bent or you can take it out straight. Pull those toes in towards your nose. This is going to engage more of the ankle, the back of the calves, and the full hamstrings. Just a couple of breaths here. Maybe slowly inching it a little bit closer. And then taking both ends of that strap or belt into your left hand, take it all the way across the body to the left. So your right hand is going to go out to the right, leg is going to go over to the left. You're going to flex your left toes as if you're standing. Inhale back up to center. Take that strap off, hug the knee into the chest, circle the foot a couple of times, hug the knee in, and we're going to switch sides. Bring that left leg in, strap around the ball of the left foot. Right knee bent or straight, your choice here. Pull those toes in toward your nose, flex the foot strongly, maybe get them a little bit closer. Find that place where you can get the leg straight. So it's more important to get the leg straight than it is to get it closer to your nose. Take both ends of the strap, this time into the right hand. Take that leg all the way over to the right, left arm over to the left. Wherever you start to feel that stretch in the outside, inside, or maybe back of the leg, you don't have to go all the way over. You can go partially or halfway or all the way to the floor. Inhale back to center, bend the knee, take the strap off to the side, hug that knee in, circle the ankle, hug the knee a little tighter, then go ahead and release your legs. Here you can have your feet wide, drop your knees together, or you can take your legs out straight for a little Shavasana here at the end. Shavasana is a great time to just check in, to see how everything's feeling, if anything has changed or the energetics are changed. Maybe you feel more space in your body. Maybe your breath and your movement is more synced. Whatever it is, just noticing, becoming aware. Nice deep inhales and exhales. Maybe inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. Remaining in Shavasana for as long as you can, but if this is all the time that you have, slowly rolling over to your right and making your way up to a seat, whatever that may be for you. Taking a moment to say thank you to yourself for taking some self-care time and for opening up the hamstrings. You will be thankful for that later as they just slowly, if you kind of keep doing this, really open up that space in your lower back, in your hamstrings, in your mid-back. Really helps open up those spaces. Thank you so much for joining me today. May you have a wonderful week.